Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the next edition of Apex Online Racing F2 League. We are here in Brazil, and bringing you the commentary today is myself, Ben Rwaggy McConnell, and joining me is Rwaggy Amkasa Elder. How you doing?
I'm not too sure, man. How are you?
I am better than the stream is. Sadly, it's not working, so we're having to resort to recording, but we still exist nonetheless. So, it is Brazil. It's going to be an very exciting race because of the fact that it's a very legendary circuit. It's got a lot of DRS overtaking opportunities, by which I mean there are two. But the main one's obviously that big, long back straight, which we'll get to shortly, and then lead it from turn 3 to turn 4. But we are already in the qualifying session, so let's jump to it straight away. And let's get cracking with 13 drivers on the track. Some fast drivers overall. We're actually seeing return of a couple of the Shizou boys, so Yolta's back as well, which is good to see. And I'm going to ask you straight off the bat then. I'm going to do it to you. I'm going to do it. I haven't done it in a while. It's only fair that I do. So give me your top 3 prediction for qualifying. Go on.
Well, as always, I like to run down who we've actually got here today, and I need to be on the right screen for that, so that would be useful. So let's have a look who we've got here today. We've got the lights. We've got Brownie, Yeltek, Zones there. Pretty much always front runners here, but Dax can throw up a little bit every now and again. So keep your eyes on him. Get owned as well. He's a great driver. I was mostly looking at the Shizou guys because, well, they seem to be the ones dominating this league so far this season. Etterton has wrapped up the title, but the Shizou guys are always there or thereabouts every single race. With no Etterton, I think the eyes are going to be firmly fixed on those three. And I wonder, will we get a 1-2-3 Shizou? Will Get Owned mess that up for me? I will go
race, but 9 quali.
I am going 1-2-3 Shizou at some point. I'll probably go for the race, but I'm going to go for Zones, Yeltek, Get Owned qualifying.
Yeah. I don't know. Kimmy's has been pretty damn quick, and even WoW was really impressed with how much he's stepped his game up quite considerably. So, I think you're right. Zones to take P1. I don't know who I'd put for P2 though. Smee just done a 108.3. It's a good time from him. Boomsong we know can be quick. Kimmy's he's invalidated, so he's gonna have to go again. I'm gonna go Zones, Get Owned, Yolta.
So same 3, just one change.
Different. Yeah.
Ever so slightly, yeah. Well, we'll see how they're going to go. The qualifying has just started, as he said, and yeah, opening gambits have been laid down. Wow, provisional pole with 108.1667 then. And I'm currently, I was on board with Boomsong, then I realised he's invalidated. There's no point being on board with him. Dax in the pits, going then is about to start his lap. And so is Yeltsin, so, oh no, Yeltsin's only just come out of the pits. So Get Owned has just started his flying lap.
Yep.
See how he gets up.
For 1 and 2. Well, he ran a little bit wide there. That's not really going to affect his time too much at all, to be truthfully honest. He just have to make sure that this corner here is pretty tidy. I think, honestly, is the 6 and 7, which are the 2 right-handers coming up, they're the areas where he really needs to make sure the car doesn't start understeering. I find that quite often, if you've got your off transmission just a little bit too low, you can easily start running too wide, and if you go off wide there, it's an immediate invalidation. So far, Get On doing pretty well.
Yeah, he's nailing this corner. We're now in the sort of the midfield section, sector 2, where it's just corner after corner after corner. Oh, no, just need some breaking news coming from my phone, where it's a bit of a shock, but Kobe Bryant has just died. Basketball superstar. Oh dear.
So we should do an onboard lap, and I think we should do returns because he's right here now. Yes,
going up the hill, up through the gears, and this is so crucial. That turn 12 at the bottom of the hill sets you up really for this lap, and it's probably the most important corner on the lap, especially in qualifying, if you just want to kind of nail it perfectly. And it looks like he has. He's going to throw it into the CRS's turns 1 and 2 and 3, all linked together really nicely. And this, if you've not made the overstep at this point, you've got to sort of sit in the slipstream coming off it and hope to get a tow. And the car's just up ahead. He's not actually going to benefit at all from that. Braking zone, then Dira shutting up through turn 4. Now this is sector 2. This is where it's just corners after corners. Runs a little wide on the exit of 4 into 5. To go uphill through turn 6. Little couple of shifts down. Keep it turning through 7. Turn 8, opportunity to overtake into there if you're feeling a bit brave. As you now go sort of downhill, down through turn 9. This is a really undulating track, ups and downs as Paddy gets well out of the way. And through turn 10 we go, and no Hamilton diving down the inside of this one. But power off now through turn 11, and let's say this is turn 12 now. So crucial this, and he's actually going to get a tow here by Dax on the home straight. This is really going to benefit him. And we're about to see if he can set up a provisional pole. Wales currently sitting on the top. Zones I fully expect to beat him. Definitely a purple sector 2, and provisional pole there in the 107s.
Although
Rally's
it's surprisingly not that fast, because he had the tow on that home straight, and you'd have really thought that he would benefit.
Terrible first sector.
Well, that's probably all it was then. I think if he could fix that.
Over a tenth down on Brownie, who just set purple in the first sector. So, I mean, the next closest is a 16.8. He was faster than that, but Brownie's was so much faster.
Yeah.
So, if you can nail that first sector, he'll be good.
So we've gone for Zones, Get Earned, Yalta. That was my 3. You've gone Zones, Yalta, Get Earned in the top 3 for qualifying. I think you might be onto something when it comes to the actual race win, though. I think the Shazoo boys might actually be the 1, 2, 3 for the race. I'm actually going to... I know you're going for it, but I think I'm going to join you. You get your prediction done
already?
I think yeah, because I'm just thinking about their pace. And Brownie, this is his track. This is the track. Every time I've commentated him here in Brazil, he's always impressed me. He always goes for like the weird, crazy strategies with his tyre strategies, and it just works out. Like, I've seen him go so far on the mediums, and it's just worked out for him.
Yeah, but he's going to be starting on the soft spot, looks of it at the moment. We are expecting a dry race, fully dry, as Kimmy's has put that in the wall. That is at turn 6. Get Owned is coming through there. If you have a quick look, you might be able to see him. There he is. That's just lost the back end, I think, going through the corner. It's an unusual place.
It is.
I don't think I've ever actually seen someone retire there, because it's uphill as well to that barrier. And you're not even going that fast.
Alright, Camacho did a 108.564 previously. Is now coming up through the final corner. Definitely lost a lot of time there. And he's only using DRS, he's coming in the pits. So almost went into the wall there. That could have been really tragic, but no, he's alright. No one else on a hot lap currently. Get Earned is out there on an out lap, ready to smash one in.
Yep. I don't want to say it's the coming for song because it's really early for that. So they're also going to do another fast-paced lap, come in and then get ready for that final stint. And as we are at the halfway point, definitely looking like they've got time for another lap after this. But Get Owned comes out and does all right through the first sector. Didn't look as quick as it could have been, but we'll see a split in a moment. And well, it shows how much I know. He's up by 2/10.
Yeah,
and it's purple.
It's strange. Sometimes it can look slow, but actually be ridiculously fast. But clean and tidy is the name of the game for him so far, and it's been very clean and tidy. I'm not actually seeing any issues, no wobbles, no mistakes, not even run wide even slightly. Just keeping everything under control. This is really, really calculated from Get Earned.
Don't say that just yet. You have a history of jinxing people.
I wasn't trying to influence anything at all. But I mean, I did put him in the P2, remember, so it is, there is that. I want him to do very well, and I want to get P2, but I don't want him to do too well, because I don't want to ruin my 100% prediction, which currently Yalta's ruining with his 108.467.
That's an interesting decision. You went purple sector 1, personal best sector 2, to then decide to pit is a bit confusing to me, but unless he invalidated on the final sector, but there's only one real corner in that final sector, which is turn 12 at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, it's very odd. But Yalta, he's on a hot lap right now, currently going through sector 2, and he's so far, that might have been invalidated. He was very much on the curb, but I don't know if he cut it a bit too deep or not. He's still stayed in mode 3, which is kind of what you want. Here comes in, nice and tidy again. That area there, that exit, if you get a little bit too hard on the throttle, you just snap the rear away and off you go.
That's interesting. Smeej is coming into the pits, but has just set a purple sector 2 on an in-lap.
Very odd.
Yeah. Yeltek is personal best thing this one. No purples, but...
Right where I predicted. Stay there, Yelta. That'd be nice. Alright, so it's Shazoo Boys 1, 2, and 3 right now, and whether or not you think that's the way it was going to pan out when it comes into the race or not is a whole different story. We'll see shortly enough. Ulysses is on the hot lap as well. He's just gone through sector 1, started sector 2. The double right-hander where we saw Kimmy's go off earlier. And he's made it look very tidy.
Rupert will be the next man up, by the way. He's coming towards the end of the second sector at the moment. In a lowly 13th, unlucky for some, and he's up by nearly 3/10 at the end of that second sector, so he's got a good chance of moving up here in a very tight grid, everyone within a second of each other, so
yeah.
2/10 is a big gap to gain.
And if he gets half a second, he's immediately right in the middle of everything, and he was 3/10 up. It was invalidated, so it would have put him, I think it was P12, because I think he was just marginally slower than Camacho. But still, regardless, Rupert has the ability to get up there. He just needs to keep it clean and just needs to get really solid lap time in.
Yeah, with Euless moving up as well, there's a gap between 12th and 13th. I guess that's just down to invalidations happening and Euless being a decent timing to get P6 as Jones starts his flying lap. Who's on the way? Dax is on his way next.
Yeah, Dax. We know that he's been giving Zones a fair bit of tow. I don't think Zones is repaying the favour. Not today, or not in this hot lap at least. We do still have 5.5 minutes remaining of the session, so there's still plenty of opportunity for that tow to come in. Here's Dax then,
P2
to the line. You reckon P2? Let's see, it's a P1.
Oh.
107.901. He really chucked the time in there. And well, I'm really impressed by WoW. WoW has really stepped his game up completely, and the pace has really kicked in. And the consistency is starting to kick in a little bit as well. We've seen in previous races, he gets a lot of penalties. This is not really a track where you do get a lot of them, but he is going to need to focus on turns 1 and 2 and just make sure he doesn't get any.
Yeah, and the other person doesn't get... There's two other people that don't get a lot of penalties. Smeej is one of them. We see a lot of movement from him. If he could up his race pace, or his qualified pace, just one of them, he would have been in a great position to pick up more and more points every race, because we've seen it from Hazard. Last game particularly, where he would jump six places in the race basically from his qualifying place.
Yeah.
But half of those would be just because he had no penalties. He had jumped so many places. His qualifying pace wasn't great. His race pace was bang on, and he would just nail it every single time, and just carve up the grid as a result of it.
And we literally called him Captain Consistency because he was able to do that almost every race and kept himself so clean and consistent. So it was really good. But yeah, it is that time. It is the Cam 4 Storm where majority of the drivers, albeit Smeej is now starting hot lap, are in the pits prepping themselves for that final push, trying to get the best opportunity to get on track and decide what strategy of tyres they're going to go for. Looking at it, every single driver is going to choose the softs at the moment. I don't think anyone's going to change that, and I'd be very surprised if anyone even did. Because you're not beating your 107.9s on mediums, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think mediums are even worth considering here. The grid's so tight that mediums, you're not going to improve in your lap.
No.
If you do, it's going to be minor, and you're going to have to take out everything out of those mediums just to achieve it.
So, Smeej still out there, still the first one to do the final of his runs. He might actually get, well, he has the opportunity to do more than one lap if he wants to. But he's come out very early. I don't know if he's just trying to avoid traffic or whatever, but he's going to be in a position where the track is going to be more evolved later for everyone else. He's going to struggle to make it into the top 10.
He could pit. He's down in the second sector on his previous best, so I would have come in the pits there. You're not going to improve, or if you do, okay,
well, he's fine. He's only 1,000th off of Brownie, actually.
Yeah.
That's really good going.
Camacho moves up as well, and Boomstock's coming in the wrong gear.
He's
definitely bringing us on the pits.
He's just having a laugh.
I think that's him telling us.
In between 6 and 7.
Yeah, so Smeej, has he cost himself a chance of finishing higher up? Because you expect everyone's going to improve by 2/10 maybe on this final stint, maybe just a 1/10 and a half. And he's suddenly going to be... He's looking pretty now at 5th, but he's going to end up probably 8th or 9th by the end of this.
Yep.
Because he had gone early. He had the opportunity to come in, and I would have come in there.
I think he has shot himself in the foot. Because, I mean, realistically, look at the guys just below him. They're all very close to his time. They're all about a tenth and a bit off. And if they only improve by, even in one corner, with a decent amount, that's immediately Smee's just getting knocked down the list. So I think he's played the risky game coming out so early. It may pay off for him, and we may be eating our own words, but we'll see.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he did a flawless lap. There were no mistakes, really, that cost him time. And with no one else around, there's no one else getting in your eyesight. You've got a clear track, clear line, unlike Euless, who nearly had Will missing off that car.
Yeah.
And that's him backing out of that. But he does have the opportunity to go again, if he's fueled it.
Camacho has retired there. Does not want to go again. Very clearly not happy with something there.
That's pit lane retirement, not on track. Maybe he's realised he's not getting out in time. Euless, I think Euless is going to be done for here, unfortunately for him.
So I think Zone's got held up by a Smeege, weirdly enough. And Smeege has actually really made a mistake now. So yes, he's gone and done a lap, but he's done 2 laps now on those tyres. I think you need to just say, okay, the first lap was good. Let's leave it like that. It's not the fastest, I know, I appreciate that, but it's still pretty rapid, and I can't afford really to push too much. I think what he saw was, oh, there's only a 10th between me and Paul. Let's just give it that little bit more and get myself onto Paul. In actual fact, he didn't improve at all, and he's just took an extra life out of those tyres he's going to need going into the race.
I don't know how it works. I mean, those tyres, best lap was on the first lap of those tyres. Is that where the tyres come in? Do they actually get how they should be, which is the 2 laps on the tyres? I'm not entirely sure on that one. I've not done enough research for that.
I mean, the wear is going to be tremendous in comparison to the others.
Taken from when he finished his fastest lap, or for when he finished the lap.
How I understood it was however much they used on those tyres throughout the entirety of the qualifying.
Okay, well, we'll soon see. I thought it was taken from the end because he's still out there as he's currently catching the grass.
Do you have his data?
I don't, unfortunately.
Well, we won't be
There's
able
only
to
a handful of drivers that I have.
Well, we have reached the end of the session, and you've seen a few people with a check flag next to their name. That means that they are done and dusted. Now, currently, it is Dax who's sat on the top step of the, well, I say pole position, not top step. There's no podium just yet. That's the end of the race. But Dax holding it out. Where's Rupert? I'll see how he does then. Going to the line.
Euless.
This is fast. This is quick. This is P8.
Euless is in pits. Brownlee's coming up. Next man up. No. Dax. He's going for it. Zones as well, just behind. Zones is nailing it. He's going for it. Oh, he's just missed out.
Slightly slower.
I think that's it then. Because Smeege has been on the grass already. He's still on the grass.
And he's 3 laps now on these softs.
What's he doing? Didn't realise it's an off-road course.
Well, he's actually retired. It's not even him controlling the car.
He's the one that put it there, though.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But that's it then.
Done and dusted. So Dax will take pole position with Ghetto in P2 and Zones in a very uncharacteristic position. He's sat P3 and he's done 2 laps on those softs as well. So he's going to be in a bit of an awkward position now. Realistically, the gap overall was tiny between the pack. It is very, very... We're literally talking 4 tenths. That's the whole 13 driver grid stuck within 4 tenths, which is just insane. But here we go then. So here's the rundown. Dax with 107.901 on pole position. Ghetto right there behind him, 20 thousandths of a second behind Dax, with Zones there in P3. He's only just half a tenth, behind him. Wow, then less than a tenth in P4. Yolte P5, Brownie P6, Smeege P7, Rupert P8, Euless P9, with Camacho rounding out the top 10. Boomsong, Kimmies and Paddy, they are their 11th, 12th and 13th positions, and again 4.5 tenths is all that separates the entirety of this grid. This is going to be a very difficult, very exciting, but very dramatic Grand Prix.
This is going to be tight, to say the least. Yeah. All 13 cars are 0.439 or 440 according to the game apart. And yeah, we've seen it in some races. One mistake from the front and you're at the back. One extra pit stop, you're done for. It's going to be one of those types of races. It is going to be make a mistake and your race is over, basically.
Yeah.
So
it really is.
These guys are going to have to nail the first few corners, avoid all the damage possible. And I think they can make or break someone's races today.
Well, we're about to find out as they are all on the grid, just thinking about their strategies and how they want to tackle this. How much fuel do they want to take on board? And, you know, if Nick Turn was here, you can almost guarantee he's going to underfuel his car because that's kind of driving style he goes for. Brownie might even do the same thing. It's something he's been adopting as a starting point for this game. So maybe we'll see Brownie do the similar situation. I don't think we're going to be seeing anybody try anything ridiculous, though, when it comes to strategies. Although I am worried. I am worried for Smeege and I am worried for Zones. They've both done more than they should do in terms of tyre wear, and that's going to be a real issue going into this Grand Prix.
Yep. Boom. Kimmy's and Paddy have gone for an alternate strategy. They're not starting on the soft.
Yeah.
Top 10 have to, obviously, but Boom on hard, Kimmy's and Paddy's on the medium, so they're going to look to go long in the opening stint. We'll see how that works out for them. No rain has been forecast. Doesn't mean we won't have any.
Well, I mean, Brazil is definitely the country you can rely on for rain most of the time. In fact, of all league races I've done here, I think I've only had one where it was dry. Every other were all wet. So yeah, it's a very... And when it gets wet, it gets properly wet. I mean, me and you have both seen it a couple of times where we've had safety cars just because it's been so wet. Not because the driver's gone off and hit a wall, but purely because it has rained that hard.
Yeah. Currently, weather forecast is light cloud. Air of 24, track is 32. So it's very warm out there. So even if it starts raining, it's not going to settle anytime soon. And Dax leading us around then I kind of expected him to be one of the front runners, but I did not expect him to be the front runner. And I think we need quickly to look at those predictions again.
Go for it.
I can't even think of what the prediction is at the moment. I need to look at this. I think anyone could win this.
Yeah, I'm actually going to give it to Dax though. He's impressed me in qualifying. I'm not gonna ignore him. So Dax P1, Brownie P2, Yolta P3.
Okay, I think Brownie's definitely one to figure in this front three. I'll go for Dax. Has an issue with get owned in the opening corner.
Ooh.
I want to go for a shock. I want to put Zones not to take the win. I want Wow to have the win. Wow, Zones, Brownie.
You mean you want WoW to live up to the name? I mean, that sounds amazing. I'd like to see that. Right, here we go then. So all the drivers are in their grid boxes, ready to get going. The lights are appearing on the screen. And in just a second,
maybe
it's go time here in Brazil, and Dax gets a very nice move off the start line there, and immediately Zones is up to P2. Get on had a really bad start, and Zones is very comfortably now up into P2. Immediately look at Yolta, he's already shot up the field. He's had a big mistake there. Wow's coming back on through into P4. Yolta sitting in front of Brownie. Brownie's going to be in trouble now. He's going to try and find his way to get back through this, and I don't think he's going to be able to find the inside line, although Yolta's giving him it. This is going to be a tough line for Yolta to defend. And he does somehow keep that position. A little bit of a tail wag kicking out, but he has done a very good job there of holding P5.
Yeah, it looks like actually all the big actions down the back. They're going 3 wide through turn 3 onto that little straight as Camacho looks to move down the inside of Euless. Contact! Survives, but he's just lost the back end. Going to give Kimmys a sniffle of a chance to come through, but unfortunately we're now in the midfield section, so he needs to be almost alongside the other guy before you can even think about making a move. And so Camacho gets away with that. He's lost a bit of time when Euless is kicking it up to stay on the back of Rupert. And obviously no DRS just yet. That'll be available at the beginning of lap 3.
Euless is on the back of Rupert. It does have much better toe than what Rupert has. So there's an opportunity here. He's in mode 4, ready for it. Obviously there's no DRS. He's gone to the inside. This is going to put Rupert right there, high and dry. But if he can stay alongside... Oh, a little bit of teleportation there for Euless. Does mean a little bit of promise, but he still gets the position. P8 is in the pocket for Euless as long as he keeps it in check. I think he has just about done that.
Yeah, it was a lovely move. It sort of sold Rupert the dummy. Went to look like he's going around the outside, but flicks it back to the inside down the home straight and goes on by up to P8. And now he can set his sights on Smeege, who's slowly falling off the back of Brownie, but is still keeping tabs on him just to keep him pure, keep with him. And Get Owned is now having a little gap between Get Owned and Zones as well, so keep your eyes on that. Still not quite a second, and DRS will be available at the end of this lap, and almost immediately it will be used.
Yep. I mean, you got that run up to turn 4. That is going to be a major area. If you can get the exit through 1, 2, and 3 nice and clean, you should be able to just slingshot past the guy ahead of you. And ultimately, we're looking at zones to try and do that, but Dax is, I think, comfortably ahead. I don't think he has to worry about zones unless he suddenly turns the nitrous oxide on. That might happen, but...
Brownie Yeltek.
1:11:03.
Brownie's looking down the inside. He's going down the inside there of Yeltek, and he is through. Yeltek's looking for the switch back, but Brownie's going to have that. And he's also going to have DRS and WoW to help defend against Yeltek. And Yeltek hasn't got pressure from behind, so it's going to be a straight drag. And I think Brownie might have this, although Yeltek's looking. He's not quite close enough to even make a move. So Brownie moves on up to P5. Right overtake there on Yeltek.
Yep, really clean. Cannot fault that in any way, shape or form, but we can fault Dax as currently his pace is just dropping off. He's really getting caught up by zones now. Look how close he is to the back of him. He can almost kiss his gearbox. He's that close. A little bit of mistake there from Dax, and even bigger mistakes there from Camacho means he's got a 3-second time penalty, and Zones is really lining Dax up now for that the home straight DRS overtake. It's go time now for Dax.
Yep, he needs to go quickly. The one thing he's got working in his favour is Get Owned is relatively close to the zones, but at the same time it's not close enough. He just wishes Get Owned was close enough to the zones to pressure him to make some defensive moves instead of having just one guy on him who's walked by.
He's cruise on past. Exactly. There was hardly a defensive move from Dax. I think he knew, alright, well, there's no point in me fighting you. All I'm going to do is make it worse, and given the fact that Get Owned is still within that opportunity to close in, then I can't really afford to lose anything. Now, speaking of which, Brownie is working his way towards WoW, and WoW is right on the back of Get Owned, who's just staying alive because of that DRS. Yellow flag sector 1.
Yeah, Yulis had some issues. He's dropped right back, and he's got Boomstock on his rear to go with it. Yulis just had a bad first sector, just lost 5 seconds in that opening sector.
So, Yelta is still sat there in the back of this little train that's formed, but that is pretty much it. It's a train from P1 to P6, and it's almost Smeege getting involved in it. He's just outside that 1 second range, just dipped in it now. But Rupert, 1.9, he's right off there. He's got 3 drivers behind him chasing him down. Camacho, Kimmy's and Paddy. Camacho's got a penalty, so Rupert is going to be feeling pretty okay with this for now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out when approximate pit stop window is for these softs. And I think probably lap 15, 16 is going to be the point. But it's all down to how the drivers are driving. If they're getting pressure or sliding through the corners like Zones is doing a little bit of at the moment with Dax on his tail. And yeah, so going, it's just not close enough again. What have you seen?
I was just looking at the way that Brownie was closing in on WoW. I thought he was actually going to close in a lot faster than that. That DRS got activated for WoW, and he immediately started to match that pace, but Brownie got such a much better exit than WoW did.
Well, yeah, I mean, Brownie is a good driver, and I do feel WoW slightly out of place, but he's steadily been improving over this year, and maybe this is his greatest show as such. So Brownie's looking down the inside, but he's going to get attacked by Yeltek on the outside. Yeltek's looking for that switch back on Brownie. He's not going to have it, but see, that's what it takes to sometimes lose a position or to gain position. Making a decision like that, if you get it, beautiful. You've got a great overtake. If you don't, you come immediately under pressure from the guy behind. As Brownie just did. He was able to hold the place, but he's lost time on WoW as a result.
Yep, it's the gamble I guess you take, and it almost cost him, but he's okay. He's still net zero. He's not gained anything. He's not lost anything. May have lost a little bit of tyre wear, but ultimately that's nothing really. But look at Dax, because Dax has got DRS. He's got the slipstream. He's not using the overtake mode. I don't think he's even trying to go for the overtake here actually, but these guys are clearly talking to each other. They are very well known to...
Get on is very wide. Get on is very wide. WoW is right on his tail. This could be an opportunity for WoW. And he's not going to take it, unfortunately. WoW just getting very wide on the exit of 4. Thought WoW was going to have a chance to come through, but Get Owned has managed to get back to where he should be, on the racing line.
Yep, he's recovered. That was a very good recovery from him. Like you said, it was very wide, very risky. It almost cost him. Wow, though. I know you said he's feeling a bit... It kind of looks like he's a bit out of place, but actually, I think he's now in the right place. I think this is unfamiliar territory for him, but I think this is now where he belongs.
Yeah, was it race on Friday that we saw a driver that I know it was my race on Thursday. You were there. Never mind. I was going to talk about another race, and God, you weren't actually there. You've probably not seen
even
it.
there. Nope.
No.
All right, watch Brownie though here, because he is very close to the back. Dax has actually made a big mistake there going through. So Get On actually has an opportunity to gain something out of this. Look at the pace. Does have DRS as well. They both do. I don't think there's going to be a change from that respect, but Brownie might go for it. Nope, he's backed out. Lots of penalties coming in.
You say that, but that is only the third penalty.
But between two drivers, Camacho's got two.
Drivers, yes.
Ulysses has got one, and these are guys that are quite well known for getting penalties, to be honest. Which is a little bit sad.
Ulysses was the first man to get disqualified from race, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, this game anyway, from penalties alone. But the battle still going on. It is top 7 are all within DRS of each other. And then even after that, 8 to 9, 10 DRS of each other, then it gets a little bit spread out towards back. So we've got a lot of battles on our hands here today. Undercut could come into a huge effect here. And I'm wondering who's going to be the first of the softs to pit. I did predict around mid-teens. I'll confirm whether that's still accurate. I believe it is.
So the train did get one bigger. Smeech did manage to benefit from the attack-defense maneuvers from these boys that were ahead of him. So he's doing a good job to be where he is right now. He just needs to make sure he doesn't fall out of this. This is getting pretty close among those ahead of him, but they are really fast. They're not slowing down even slightly. So Smeech has to find a way to close in. Kimmy's is working magic on Rupert. Tried to get down the inside, didn't work out for him. Rupert held it. Kimmy's almost lost it. And they're back to where they were before. This is getting pretty tense.
Yeah, I'm just looking up some information actually. I think everyone bar WoW of these front runners are race winners. WoW and Smeech. I'll confirm that with you in a moment, but I think it is that case. So, yeah, to be even in contention with these guys just means you've got a lot of pace on your hands. WoW is showing that today. Smeech as well. The fact that he's still with them at the moment anyway is showing it. He's controlling his ERS as best he can, but at the same time as he's trying to just stay with them.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy task.
It really isn't. Look at wow, he is properly tearing in. He is going really close to the back of Get Earned, and he's just somehow closed that right up now. Get Earned is not really going to be in trouble because of the fact that he's got DRS slipstream and probably got the ERS. Yes, he does a lot of it to work with. But that really just shows how much better on the brakes WoW is in comparison to Get Earned.
Yeah, I'm just looking up, but there's a few drivers that haven't actually won in this league. They may have won in a lower tier this season because obviously they got rejigged. But Dax has not won a race. He's not even finished on the podium in F2 this year. So he will be relishing this chance to get to the front. As they are so close. I'm surprised we haven't seen any wings go yet.
Actually thinking about it, not a single piece of wing damage at all so far. Could all change at the drop of a hat, but yeah, let's see WoW then, because again, very close to the back of Get On. Didn't get a good exit there. That's actually cost him. This has allowed Brownie to get in this now. Here it is. WoW's in trouble. That one slight mistake has been consistent throughout majority of this Grand Prix. Brownie is there on him. There was a little kiss there between the two. WoW's gone right onto the outside, which if he can stay alongside of him the whole time, Brownie's gone for a big send. Big mistake there, locked up the brakes, and that's going to make it really difficult to take this corner and should allow WoW to come straight back at this. Yolta right here as well, going around the outside. This guy, he doesn't mind it being a difficult overtake. He just straight on goes for it. WoW could get him though, and no, he does not.
Yeah, you say that, but he's still trying there. He's still there. Now, unfortunately, he's fallen away, but he had a chance to coming off turn 4, looking for sort of the switchback as such. He had to carry a bit too much speed into the corner. And it is starting to spice up. These tyres are now getting quite old in these cars. Yeah. They're looking at around 40% on the right-hand side. And that's just the sign that just a little tyre wear is making people have little mistakes. And that's, well, as I said earlier, one small mistake and you suddenly lose places. WoW's just demonstrated that to us. One mistake and he's lost 2 places.
Yeah,
that's
the gamble you take, isn't it? They just by being trying to gain that little bit more. He ran a bit too deep, ran a bit too wide, and that was it. It just cost him. Although, earlier when we were on the formation lap, I was saying I'm a bit worried about Zones and Smeech, and neither of them are really struggling. One of them is leading this Grand Prix.
Yeah, you say you're worried about them, but they are still there. Speech is not out of this either. If he can stay here for the rest of this race, I think Speech might be able to take a podium. Because he's the type of driver that will not pick up any penalties. If he does, it'll be one. Everyone else around him are likely to pick up 1 or 2 penalties before the end of this. And he could gain significantly when the checker flag falls. Keep your eyes on Speech. You're great to see him with the podium.
It would be brilliant if he could do it. Round it off the season with a win. We obviously, this is the second to last Grand Prix. We have one after this, Abu Dhabi. But the Brazilian Grand Prix is just such an incredible one to spectate. Every time we come here, there's just nothing but exciting races, and you can see that the whole front of the pack. So the top 7 are still within DRS of each other. This is what we're paid to see. This is what we come here for.
We paid to see this? I didn't.
In other parts of the world, you would.
Oh yeah, I mean, if this was actually F1, you'd be sitting going, "Come on, this is brilliant. This is what
exactly.
we've been waiting for." And there's a Ferrari in the pits and zones as well. Going for the undercut. Little early, I thought.
They would mean they need to do 15 laps on those medium tyres, which I assume that's where they're going for. Yep, they are. Medium tyres will definitely be the strategy, and I think you can do the 15 laps very easily. It's not really a problem. The tyre wear is not so bad. No, sorry, I can't count. It's 25 laps is what I was meaning to say.
Oh, running get owned! Contact there! This is now for the race lead. They will probably lose it once, well, they will lose it once the pit stops happening. Bradley's looking down the inside here into turn 6. He's not going to get it there. It's all over the back of get owned. He's realised he's got to go for it now if he wants the chance of winning this race, because the race winners are in and they've stopped. And Bradley wants to try and stay or get the overcut, which is a really hard thing to do. And when you lose time to the man in front, it makes it even harder.
Yep, it really does. Oh, a bit of a kick out there from the rear of Brownie. This is allowing Yolta to close up even more, and I don't think ultimately it's going to make much of a difference, especially if DRS is going to be factored in, which it will be. I'm just worried now what Yolta can do about this. He is going to need to just sit there and... Oh, they're not coming in. They're staying out.
I said 15. I was sticking with that number. I thought that was about the right time, as Zone's just gone purple in sector 2. Comparison time is over a second faster than Brownie was in that sector. So Zones and Dax will take the race lead.
Yeah.
When everyone else pits, no question about it. They've just got to get past Bootok, which Zones has already done on the home straight. Dax will have a shot down the second straight. Coming up for you now.
Alright, so the grid is obviously split up a fair bit now. We do still have the battles, but we've got a few mini little battles going on. You've got the 2 Ferraris, they're going at each other, along with Zones, like you say, who got past Boom pretty quickly. Now the issue... Oh, Boom gets out of the way. Very good heads-up driving there.
Just gave his teammate a tow down that straight, just to make sure he can stay with him. Maybe put Zones off a little bit, just sort of thought, is this guy going to come back at me? No, he didn't. And kind of helped Dax a little bit, just stay with him, but I fully expect to see a potential new fastest lap of the race when these two cross the line in a moment.
Yelta's in, so he's the 3rd driver then to pit out of the front runners. His Zone's still ahead of Dax, albeit not by a huge amount, but still it's getting pretty tense and pretty tight. Get earned under attack again from Brownie. This time he's in mode 4 all the way down. Is he going to send it? This could be a big send. It is. In he goes, down the inside, into the side of Get Earned. That's going to send him up to the outside, right off the track completely, but he still kept himself alive. Brownie has got that position, controversially to say the least, and somehow Get Earned did not get any damage.
Get Earned didn't leave space though for Brownie. He turned in on him, and I think that's what then affected Brownie's line, and as a result, Get Earned ran wide because he nudged Brownie and just sort of bounced off. Brownie was put off by it, and as a result, Get Owned loses the place. And I think we'll see the majority of these guys pit this lap, because Get Owned's now all over the place.
Yeah, he's struggling now with these rears. You can see the temperature's kicking in. He knows it's time to get in now. Have to pit, can't afford not to. Is he going to come in now? Yes, he is. And he gets a penalty for speeding as well. That's just not ideal at all. Yeah.
He didn't even look like he was close.
So much.
I didn't think he even tried to stop. He just looked like he came in full ham. So Yelta has pitted He's now come out. He's just past Boomsong, and he's on his way trying to catch up to Dax and Zones, who aren't that far ahead of him. Times is about 2 seconds. Boomsong highs in the pits there. Going is just in front of Yeltsin. We've got a battle down here. Is Yeltsin going to have the pace to get past Get Owned? It's not. That was a chance. Gone.
Well, it's not completely gone because Yelta's on warmer tyres. Obviously, the mediums do still take about a lap or so to warm up. So Get Owned is still under threat, and it's more when it's going to come out onto the final straight. Could very easily use this performance to close up and push, and he's right there, right on the gearbox. One slight mistake, it's done.
So Boomsong retired in the pit now. He's now been thrown out onto the track. So he's currently down at turn 4. So hopefully it won't cause anything. But who knows? There's Brownie pits. And so does Rupert and Camacho behind him. About 15. That's kind of right for them.
Oh, watch Yelta. 3/10 gap coming up to the home straight. Look at the pace he's chucking in. He's gone for mode 5, not mode 4. He's going for the inside. He's going to go right down there. Get on again, pushing him right to the limit again, just as he did with Brandy. This time it was a little bit more surgical, very much on the limit, but look at Yolta. Look at the pace. Wing open once more. Not a lot that Get On can do about this now. He just has to sit tight, wait it out, and there goes Yolta. Look, Get On is still sticking to the outside, but he can't hold it around there. It's just not doable, and that's why you're seeing Yolta get ahead.
Hang on.
How is Get On staying alongside of him? He's going to... Oh, no! That's contact! That's really ruined Yolta's line. He's right off into the grass. A big mistake by Get On to send it like that. As soon as he touched the inside curb, that was always going to happen. And Yolta's lucky to be alive.
Brownlee's happy though. He's just going 2 places.
Yeah.
So
nice pit stop.
that...
I'll come back out to back in where I was. Thank you.
Yeah. Really unfortunate for Yolta. Get Owned. He was within his right to be there, but just didn't have the line through that corner, and unfortunately, as a result, put Yeltek into the grass. No damage though, I don't think, for either driver, just a bit of pride.
Yeah, 100%. I think Yolta really needs to work now at not getting tilted by this. He has to focus on just keeping that mindset clear, keeping everything working together, and push as hard as you possibly can, otherwise you are going to find yourself just dropping even further down. P9 right now. Smeej would actually pit and come out ahead of him. Well,
that's what he lost in the mistake. Everyone else is doing 1:11 laps. He also did a 1:16. So, yeah, he lost a fair bit of time there. Smeej comes out ahead. And now Yelta is... he's got to work out what to do. I think it's just a case of just try and catch up to cars and pass them. As simple as that. I know that's the whole idea of F1, but don't force the issue. Just keep calm, carry on. Wow, it's actually come out and split Brownie and Get Owned. This is a battle for P3 then, effectively.
Yep. I'm really intrigued to see how Paddy and Kimmy's do when they get to the soft tyres, because they should be in a position where they can just absolutely take off. Zones has got past Paddy, nice and simple, no real problems there at all. Dax in a similar boat needs to hurry up and get to the back of Paddy and pass him, because Zones is starting to really pull away.
Yeah, Paddy does have DRS and Zones. That's not going to allow Dax a chance to move past. And so if Paddy gets out of the way, he's got a chance, but he kind of wants Paddy to stay there so he can use the DRS to close up on Zones. And then Paddy gets out of the way. That would be the ideal situation, but it's not going to happen anytime soon.
No, sadly not.
Medium runners have got, I'd say, probably 2 to 3 more laps, maybe more, depends how the tyres are feeling before they're going to come in for the softs. Probably do around lap 20, I think. Maybe more. Depends how they're feeling on those tyres. Depends what they've done in their other stints. Soon see.
We shall indeed. So Dax on the back of Paddy now, and the gap is about 1.1 between him and Zone. So he needs to hurry up and use this tow, use this DRS, and don't run into the back of him. That was close. Very marginal between the two, but he is up now into P3. Has he been able to use that to stay under the 1 second margin? Yes, he has. 8/10 is the 2. And wow, setting the new fastest lap of 1:10.4 just shows what he's currently going for, and he's currently going for Brownie.
He's going for it. And Brownie does have 4/10 lead. but it's going to start trickling down. He's not going to be close enough to make a mirror move here, unless it's an insane dive. And unfortunately for WoW, unfortunately for Brownie, it's not. But
yeah.
Brownie's got to catch up to his teammate, really, hasn't he? Get that toe, stay ahead of WoW, and then get Brownie between them and pull away. Get Paddy between them and pull away.
My worry is now is that Paddy's not going to be able to be fast enough for Brownie to be able to use that. He has to somehow make sure Paddy gets in between them and just, I don't know, make it so that he can't let the Renault past. I don't think Paddy's going to be able to hold WoW back currently with the pace he's checking down. I think he might actually be in trouble.
Depends where it happens. If they can get Paddy between them, in Sector 2, then he's got a great chance, because Sector 2 is notorious for difficult to rotate, because Brownie's doing a little weave, and WoW's gone through. That was simple.
Yeah, good job from WoW there to get that overtake done and dusted. Kimmy's then has gone in, has come out on the soft tyres, so let's see if he can start chucking in the blistering pace that we expect to see. I'm worried though, because still, that's 17 laps he's going to need to do on those softs. That's a long way to go.
He's got to pass a lot of cars as well if he wants to get a podium here today. Penalties are not thick and flying in thick and fast at the moment. There's only 2 people who got penalties. Comanche's on 9 and Ulysses on 3. So even with that, you're not going to gain much, if anything.
No.
It's going to be the 2 guys at the back with those.
That is the sitch. That is the problem. I'm not sure if WoW's going to be able to keep up the pace now. Brownie on the back of him. He's going to have to manage that ERS. Currently he's doing well, 70%. He's not actually having any issues. Dax in a great position where he's also closing in on zones, and he's also got a lot of ERS to play with, but he is the chasing car. It's the car ahead that has the issue, and you can see, look, 30% as we come to the entrance of the pit lane. It's just slowly being worn down for zones.
Yeah, Paddy's come in, unleashed us back to how we should be in terms of the order. And so now you can see who is currently where. As Kimmy's just making moves on Comanche, and easy overtake there on the home straight. Now you can see his eyes on currently Rupert. And it still will be. Yep, because Paddy's coming out at the back.
Yep, indeed. Alright, Brownie is hanging in there. The gap between WoW and Dax. I want to monitor this for a little while longer, because I know that he's on fresher tyres. But give it a couple of laps when the freshness starts to wear off a little bit. Will WoW be able to maintain this pretty rapid pace he's got right now?
He really needs to catch up to the back of Dax and hold on through. So I've just seen the weather forecast. Actually, it's currently moved to overcast, so it's moved from light cloud to overcast. Could we have a sprinkling of rain towards the end of this race? I was told it's going to be fully dry, but that could spice things up.
Yeah, that would really, really just start stirring up this whole pot of drama that we got going on, which is Brownie going through on WoW. WoW looked like he just backed off to let him through. Didn't even want to fight that, and Brownie's back into P3. WoW's going to be able to use this as much as he wants now to tow all the way up, but he has to make sure that Brownie's pace is faster than Dax's, otherwise they will never close in.
Yeah, Kimmy's just carving his way through. The back is up to P8 now with the fastest lap. So next up, 6 and a bit seconds up the field is going to be Yelta, as Paddy picks up a 3-second penalty. Unlike, well, it could change things. He is currently P12, but he's on the soft tyres, so who knows what that can change. Yep. Oh, brand new mistake. Never mind. He's contained it, never mind. Getting excited there.
Thought something major was kicking off, but in fact, it's BAU, business as usual for these drivers, and somehow WoW is doing such an incredible job. I'm really impressed by the way that he's been driving just lately. He's really stepped up to the mark, and I don't want to jinx it, but 0 penalties for him.
0 penalties for everyone in the top 9. And I think WoW's going to easily go past this. They're just sort of leapfrogging each other, which is not really helping their chance towards the top step of the podium, but in fact it's harming it, if anything. They're losing a couple of tenths every lap. Having said that, Zones just went really slow on that lap, so Dax has a chance of catching up and doing something with it, but too far back at the moment.
Too far back indeed. Get on going for Brownie, but that was a big off there. Get on just went so wide. I don't know what happened there. I didn't quite catch the the drama, but Get Owned is now down, well, still in P5. He's lost a fair bit of time there. 7/10 is the gap currently, and Brownie's also lost out too. Wow, he's very cozily up into P3. 7/10 is that gap. The gap to Dax is not dropping though, it is slightly increasing, especially now the fact that Dax has got the toe on zones, and will have DRS as well in a second.
Yep, Zones and Dax just, oh, quite a few cars actually, never mind. Zones, Dax and Wow to the personal best sectors 2s. Brownie lost 3/10 to Wow in that second sector alone, and 3/10 in the first sector, so I don't think Brownie's going to be charging. I think Wow's gone, right, I'm going for this. I've had enough of trying to pass each other back and forth.
Yeah. And I think Zones is doing the right thing to try and just manage everything, considering the fact that his ERS levels are very much in the dirt. He has got nothing he can work with right now. Dax is loving life, 67% on his car, and he's just got to sit here, ride it out a little bit, and eventually move on. Now the worry is, if the timing is incorrect, and Dax does pass Zones but a bit too early, Zones will have the opportunity to come back at him later on in the race, and it'll be a reverse strategy where Dax has been so far just wearing down Zones, burning that ERS away, and Dax is just going to have to eventually pass, and Zones could come back at him later.
I have a feeling this race is going to feel like the official F1. It's all going to change on the final lap.
Yeah.
People are going to be going for things, people are going to be making mistakes, the tyres are getting old. And I'm really looking forward to this. This could be a grandstand finish. Hopefully it will be. Right.
Go on, get it. Get it, Dax. Let's get that position. I want to see you go for it now, considering how close you are and how much more ERS you have. He's only gone for mode 3. Hasn't gone for the auto mode, and he's just going to sit back and relax even more.
Maybe he's just playing the long game, trying to wear down Zones' ERS and fuel. Just don't make the move in the final couple of laps. It could be one of those, but he needs to get closer. And it's a risky game to play, that is, because if you make a mistake whilst just taking it easy, you've lost out. And Wow is actually gaining onto the back of this. It was 2.5 seconds a couple of laps ago. It's now less than 2 seconds between Dax and Wow, as Bradley did a purple sector 1. It feels like everything's starting to close up now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming towards the end. Those early stoppers onto the mediums are going to be hurting their tyres at the end of this race. This is going to look brilliant. Don't go anywhere.
Definitely do not. So Dax hunting Zones one more time. Again, same situation. ERS levels looking amazing for Dax. Not looking good at all for Zones. And I don't think Zones is going to have an answer to this. Again, I don't know when Dax is going to pounce. He knows he can pounce. And this is pretty much all his now. He just has to focus on... There it is. Wing up and he's not going for it. Penalty for Get Earned.
That could be crucial as Brownie and Wow swap places on the DRS straight. So Brownie now up to P3. He set a personal best last lap. That's why he's only gained up. And now he's got to try and hold him off. Fuel warning, as always, is still on for Brownie, but I think this is one of the tracks that's quite easy on fuel in the middle sector. You can just sort of turn it down a little bit. Don't have to worry too much.
Yeah.
So they do the same with the ERS.
Right, I mean, I'm not sure what Wow's going to do here. Yeah, Brownie has less ERS, but he's still half a battery full, and his fuel is pretty low as well, but Wow is in a weird scenario. What's the weather showing? Is it still showing overcast or low cloud?
Yeah, track temperature's just dropped another degree. It's now down to 29. Air's 22. When the air starts dropping a little bit, that's a good indication that rain is coming. I'll let you know if it drops to 21, but the track everything's cooling down a little bit, which means these tyres are going to last a little bit longer. So those on the long mediums, the 15 lappers, could be saved by the weather here.
Ooh, Wow again doing the usual Wow thing. He's braking so much later, but he's carrying a little bit too much into the corners, and that's what cost him earlier. If you remember, he ran a bit too wide into the final proper corner. And he ended up losing 2 places as he went down the home straight.
Yeah, and the gap between Dax and Brownie still coming down. It's 1.7 now. That's the one I'm keeping my eyes on. because that's slowly coming down. I think that could be getting towards. Well, that should be DRS in probably about 4 laps, which could be fun. Well, I say it could be. It will be fun.
Well, that's when WoW really gets in trouble, because passing someone who's got DRS is just going to be very difficult, and currently he's not able to really work down on it. He knows he let mode 4. He has to close up even more than ever before. Has to get the job done very quickly and cannot stall in any way, shape or form. That's a definite warning there, though. He went so over that corner.
I'll check the warnings in a moment for you. But he's still there. He's just not close enough to make a move. Wow, Brownie's lost a little bit of time to Dax. As I say that, he climbs back up. So it's come and goes, that gap.
This is effectively a battle for the top 5, because everyone else further down is pretty much out there. I mean, oh, Brownie's run wide. This is an opportunity. He's going to be really deep in the corner. Here comes WoW. Oh, he looked for the inside. He was there, but it just wasn't enough space for him to feel comfortable, and so he didn't go for it. Brownie still holds to P3. Gap is still hovering 1.6.
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick director check. Zones has 1 penalty. Zax has 0. Brownie has 1. WoW has.
Do you mean warning?
2 warnings. Yes.
Yeah, it's a penalty. I thought, wait, what?
Sorry.
Zones has a penalty? He's lost win. Here goes WoW. Whoa, Brownie, wow, that was very close between the two. He came over to cover the inside. It is way too late for that to happen, and Brownie just goes into the side of WoW. No damage on either car. It was just more of a scare factor, I think, for Brownie. I think he realized after he'd done it, whoops, that was a bit too late, and that caused him to very quickly swerve back over to the right side. But Yolta's got a time penalty now. That's going to cost him. Here's Getone looking for Brownie again. Does have the penalty anyway, does Getone, so he will lose that position no matter what. Unless these two head get... Well, it's even worse then, isn't it? So he's going to really struggle.
5 seconds stop go.
Yeah, 8 seconds in total then. It's even worse for him. So he will fall down the order. Will only lose to Smeege at the minute.
Yeah, but WoW and Dax, that gap between 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 is creeping down. Creeps up every now and again when WoW and Brownlee do a tango down the home straight. So it is really close to being DRS. I did say lap 31 was my prediction. Probably not going to happen now, but it might happen on the last couple of laps. Keep your eyes on that gap.
Yeah, Brownie is not going for it. He's just keeping his ERS levels in a good place. Dax has been doing the same thing for quite a while now, and I think now this is the point. This is the opportunity now for Dax to attack, get back on the offensive, cause Zones to start burning that ERS away even more than he had done before, because it's going to take him more than 6 laps to recharge the battery, and might need more than 1 attempt in order to get the pass done.
Yeah, it's risky saving it all for the final lap, particularly if it does decide it wants to have a little sprinkle down on the last lap. You kind of want to be in the lead before that happens.
Yeah,
it makes it a little bit easier. But it may not actually rain. This was only a theory of mine, considering the weather's changed. But yeah, from here, who do you think's going to win, and who do you think's going to get third?
Oh, I mean, realistically, this is between Dax and Zones. I think Dax can. Well, I know he can win this right now. This is his. This is his to lose. He absolutely has control. He's got all the hands. He knows what cards Zones is holding. It's just the fact of he's just waiting too long. He's just holding this out. If he does this wrong, if he times this poorly, Zones will take this very easily. I don't know if I think WoW will take P3.
You think Brownie's playing the waiting game? Just like Dax is playing the waiting game.
I think Brownie is now on the waiting game. I don't think he was before, but I think now he realizes, okay, WoW is actually pretty quick today. I really have to sort of be smart about this. I can't just sit tight and wait for it all to unfold for me. I have to do everything myself, and I think Brownie will get him.
So you think it's going to be Dax, Zones, Brownie?
Yeah. But again, it's situational, because if either of them make a mistake and don't do this right, and then it'll backfire on them, and we could be seeing Zones take the win and WoW on P3 still, as it is right now.
Dax just lost a bit of time in that middle sector at turn 10, so he's just lost a couple of tenths. Going to fall off a little bit. He's actually sticking in mode 5 to try and keep up with the back of zones. And now down to 4. So he's chucking everything at it just to stay on the back of him this time around. And look how close WoW is to that DRS. 2/10 now after that mistake by Dax. All it takes is one mistake and it changes the entire race. One wobble from Dax on this lap and WoW is in DRS. And that has just changed everything if that happens.
So now Brownie's in a pickle. Brownie's in a real pickle because that gap, like you said, is getting closer between WoW and Dax. If WoW gets within DRS of Dax, Brownie will not be able to make that pass happen. It just isn't going to happen. And then Dax will be in an awkward situation where he's going to have to start worrying about his mirrors rather than what's ahead of him. And then you're going to be seeing a very feisty battle. And look at the gap between WoW and Dax. It's very nearly in that 1 second margin. Brownie has to hurry up. Look how close it is right now. It's just over it. And now it's under it. Brownie's in trouble. This is it.
Section point is after turn 13. This is turn 12. WoW's just gone through. 13 is this little kink here, and it's looking. Yep, it's going to be DRS for WoW.
Go on then, WoW. Let's see what you've got, Brownie. Keep pushing. Keep giving it the full beans, but look at the gap. It's just not closing for him. He's really struggling. Dax is going to have to start worrying. WoW is loving life. P3. That's going to be on the table for him.
Do you reckon WoW's going to get something here?
Yep, I think he might actually take P3 now. I think P3 is locked in. The only way that he doesn't get P3 here is if he makes a mistake going through turn 4.
You mean 5? This is where they normally crash. Or do you mean just in terms of actual wobble?
So he had an issue, if you remember, he had an issue in the final corner, final official corner. But I think that when it comes to turn 4, on that braking zone, I think he might make a mistake there. I'm hoping he doesn't, because I'd love to see him get that podium. He definitely deserves it. He's he's definitely been the most improved driver in my opinion. He's someone who has just got faster and faster and faster as the season's gone on. And I really want to see what he can do.
Well, we are coming towards the end of this now. We are about to start lap 34 of 36. I think we've been spared the rain. The only thing it could rain now is tyres and debris if an accident happens. As Brownie is very close to the back of WoW. I think Brownie's realised that he's got to get going on this. Yeah. And this. Look how close they are now. It's like we've just started the race again. Yeah. They're all nose to tail.
Did I just miss a safety car or something? How are they this close? Here comes Dax onto the back of Zones. Again, needed to go for it, just cannot. Brownie in a similar boat, just cannot get it. But look at WoW, look at Dax, look how close that gap is. This entire top 4 battle, because ultimately that's what this is for. It's getting so close, and Dax has gone round the outside of Zones. This is going to be such a difficult move if he can pull this off. This will absolutely be the move of the season, and I don't know. He's so close down the inside, and this is only benefiting Dax. Sorry, WoW, even more than it did before, because you can see how close he is, and he's actually contacted him. Spanned the rear of Dax, but he's kept it. Beautifully done, Dax. He's gone into trouble now from WoW. Look at Zones starting to pull away. That is the gift that he needed, and WoW is so close to this. Brownie could easily benefit from this.
Oh, little wobble corner. Wow, that's going to lose him a little bit of speed coming off the corners. And Brownie's got a chance here. Oh, wow, he's got the slipstream. He's got mode 4. He's not got the fuel, but he's got the line. Around the outside, he's looking. He's made the place now. But wow, he's still there. He's going to be on outside here. Brownie's through.
Oh, Brownie, no! He's lost it.
Through
and goes through as well. But he's still alive. Yeah, Brownie's done.
Because he's got to get past 2 now. Yes, he'll get past Get Owned anyway, but
that's curtains for Brownie then. P5, yeah. Well, P4, sorry, because Get Owned's got a penalty or 2. So he'll still gain from that, but yeah, that could have been P3. Just got a little bit out of shape there, and that was it. It cost him.
He saw the podium, he was cheering in his car, and forgot that he had to turn the corner.
So now Dax has to repair the damage that happened earlier. The attempted move around the outside of Zones, yes, it would have been the move of the season, and it very nearly was. It was so close to being what he needed. It just went wrong when he got to that left-hander in the middle, and now he's in this boat where he is 6/10 off the back of Zones as we approach the final lap. This is Zones' to hold now. He has been given the beautiful gift from WoW, which sent Dax pointing in the wrong direction for a little while. He recovered. And this is the final lap.
Yeah, Dax goes deep as well. Wow's coming through. Potentially, no. Dax is making mistake after mistake after mistake. This is actually a gift for Wow. Dax with a little bit of lag might have just saved himself there, but Wow, he's in the slipstream. Going down this straight. This is the last proper DRS straight. Oh, I thought Wow was going to have it, but Dax parks it beautifully in the middle of the track. Nothing he can do. Yellow flag in sector 1. That is now gone. And Dax is holding this. Could Wow fancy a cheeky one down the inside somewhere? It's also, as I said earlier, setting up for a grandstand finish. Zones goes deep into the corner. This isn't over.
It really isn't.
It's not over.
And look how close they are now. Actually, they've brought it back to 4/10 because of that one mistake from Zones. And I think, actually, he's made another mistake there. Wow, he's really into this. If Wow pulls this off and gets the win, I will be blown away. Wow, could do it. Final proper corner then. It's all about the braking zone. It's all about the exit speeds.
Dax.
Here comes Zones. Look, sorry, Wow on Dax looking for the move. He couldn't quite get it. Dax has lost all the time to Zones, so Zones will get this win. But look at Wow. Here he comes all the way to the line. This is going to be a tow right through, and Dax has got lag, and Wow gets P2, but he gets knocked to P3.
Oh, what's the gap?
I don't know. It doesn't show.
Oh, I think Wow's decent because he just drove through another car. He just drove through zones.
What a time for network to kick in. What a time for that to be so close between them. I mean, regardless of what the result was, regardless of who gets P2 and who gets P3, that was just intense right the way up to it. I honestly did not know who was going to get that.
As I said, grandstand finish, and it delivered on that point.
Yeah.
Zones taking the win from Dax, then Wow. Get owned penalties dropped to the 7th. Smeech with a very decent P5 for him. He'll be happy with that. Brownlee, I think it was a race of what could have been for him. He could have had a win, he could have had a podium, he ended up with P4.
Yeah, and the fastest lap went to Kimmy's as well. They did a 1:10.123, so a very quick lap time from him to be able to achieve that. Did quite well considering he started on the mediums. He actually started outside the top 10 if you remember. So to be able to get to where he got to, really good stuff. Good points all around. But overall, it is Zones who takes that top step of the podium, and it's showing that Dax did get P2. There was the definite no. I think ultimately he was going to still get P2, but Wow should be very, very proud and very happy with his current position. Let's have a look.
Look at the gap.
Wow.
7 thousandths of a second between them.
That's faster than I can blink.
Well, yeah, I mean, a gear change in F1's faster than you can blink.
Well, that's true.
That is a grandstand finish. Unfortunately, I think there must have been a desync between them between the whole race, because they drove through each other, and hopefully Wow knows he finished P3 and isn't sitting there going thinking he won, and he's going to look up and go, oh, I didn't.
I don't think it was desynced, because if you remember, there was contact between them at one point where Dax ended up pointing sideways. I think there was a bit of lag from...
Zones.
Yeah, he did, but I think it was just network issues. But anyway, here we go. That is the end of the Grand Prix. So Zones does take that win, a full 25 points into his pocket with Dax there in P2. Wow in P3, rounding out that podium with Brownie, who had a bit of an issue on the second to last lap, and that cost him. It was curtains pretty early on, and that was where it all went. Smeech P5 after starting P7, so good stuff from him. Kimmy's, like I said, started P12, ended up finishing P6, and also gets the fastest lap, so even more points for him. Get Owned goes P7 due to penalties. Yolta there in P8, who had a really rough time given that Get Owned went into the back of him, so there might be stewards' inquiries following this. Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Rupert P9. Paddy rounds out the top 10 with Eulis getting Best of the Rest award. Camacho in P12, and the only DNF of the race is Boomsong, which leaves me with the final question for you, Amkasa. Who is your driver of the day?
Based on just this race, if I knew nothing else about the races, I'd have to give it to Zones. But considering we know how much about these guys, I think I want to give it to Wow.
Yep, I'm with you as well. Wow, absolutely deserved driver of the day. He really impressed me with his pace overall, and I am looking forward to seeing what he can do in the final race of the season next week in Abu Dhabi. But that's it from us today. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been Ben Rwaggy McConnell, and this has been Jamie Amkasa Elder. Thank you for joining me, Jamie. As always, you are incredible, and we'll see you guys next week for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Good night.
Ta muchly.